and welcome to Vintage Keys Studio. My name isn't Jiffy Green, and today I'm going to be showing you something inside this little black bag. Come on then. The Ondomo. Designed and built by Naoyuki Omo from Tokyo, Japan in 2016, this was one of the 100 that he made, and we were lucky enough to acquire this one in a slightly poorly state from the Ondes Martineauist, Josh Siemens. Anyway, it's good news now because I've actually managed to fix this thing, and it's in perfect working order. So first things first, you probably logged on to this video because you wanted to hear what one of these things sounded like, not to actually hear me talking a load of old rubbish about it. So here is a piece for pianoforte and Ondomo. That was a clip from one of our exclusive videos that are available on our Patreon page. The full videos and audio downloads and more are available there for all subscribers for as little as £1 plus VAT. If you'd like to support us, go to patreon.com/Vintage Keys Studio. The link is below. Your continued support for our channel will enable us to make more exciting content for our viewers and also go towards maintaining our wonderful collection of rare and lovely instruments and equipment, which is used regularly by all the visitors to the studio, as well as community projects, education and artists from around the world. So this thing is a Ondomo, and it's based on the Ondes Martineau that was designed and built by Maurice Martineau of Paris, France. I nearly said Paris, London then. Paris, London in 1928. A bit later on, Maurice's son, Jean-Louis Martineau, continued sporadically to make the Ondes Martineau throughout the 20th century. They're quite rare, or in fact very rare, extremely rare, actually. And even when they were available, you couldn't just go and buy one. You had to get one specially ordered or commission one. Considering this instrument is almost 100 years old now, around about 2000, the year 2000, the Radiohead keyboardist called Johnny Greenwood commissioned a company to make a Ondes Martineau style MIDI controller, which was called the French Connection, and it was made by a company called Analog Systems. Strangely enough, just over the way from Vintage Keys Studio, there is a small organ builders, and they made the PCBs, the printed circuit boards for the French Connection. Bit of a coincidence, isn't it? This is the Vintage Keyboard Cultural Quarter of the United Kingdom. I can't see with my glasses on, so I'm going to take them off. Looks like I've done that a few times before. Hang on a second. Right. So, the Ondomo. Under the lid, this is the lid here, there's a 4-octave keyboard, which is very similar to the Ondiline, of which we have one, and you'll see there's a video link up here now. It's got a sprung keyboard that allows for lateral movement left and right, and kind of like you wiggle it, and you can actually get a vibrato sort of sound with that. It's also got this ring controller, which is on a wire. That enables you to continuously move the pitch across the whole keyboard's range. I've made a similar sort of thing for the Ondiline, although it doesn't work anywhere near as nicely as this one. On the left of the keyboard is this control box, known as the tiroir, Tiroir. I'm not a Frenchman. So on the left of the keyboard is this drawer. Now I'd love a kitchen like this, with drawers with bits and pieces in like that. Inside the drawer, as you can see, is a really nice selection of controls. The lit up button here is called the touche d'intensité, I think. But again, I am not a Frenchman. This acts in a similar way to a volume pedal or a knee lever on the Ondiline, for instance. In the original Ondi's Martineau, this control would have used a leather bag full of carbon powder mixed with mica to create a resistive pad which increased the volume as the contents were squished, like this. Inside here, it's a paper-padded wooden control with some kind of dielectric, maybe sort of acetate or something, but I'm not sure because I haven't taken that bit to pieces yet. But if I press on this now, you'll see it gradually intensifies as you press it. So it's like it's quite a nice interface for expression. So you can either use the keyboard to play or the ring controller. So let's just show you the keyboard part of it. So get rid of that. So if I that's quite a nice little keyboard. The only problem with this, because it's on sort of fairly spindly legs, when you try and do the vibrato, the whole thing shakes. So you have to kind of get your friends to come and hold it for you. You can see how boingy that keyboard is. And then if you press this button here, instead of the keyboard, you can use the ring controller. Now this, very like an Ondi's Martineau, the normal style, has got a selection of different outputs. So firstly, there's this output here, which is the internal speaker. I'm not sure how many watts the speaker is in here, but it's only a little. So this control here controls the level of the internal speaker. This one here, there's actually a 25 watt amp inside here, and you can drive an 8 ohm speaker from that. And I'll get to that in a minute because I've got it plugged into something. And then these two here are stereo line outs. So I've got that going. We've got a combination of the internal speaker and the two line outs DI'd into the recordy thing over there. And then you've got different octaves. It's got 4 sort of different octaves. So you've got that there, and then press that again, and then again. You've got a global pitch control, which I won't mess around with that, but that was actually broken when I got this thing. All that was wrong with it, there was a resistor just up here that had come off. Quite useful in here actually, because you've got all like through-hole components to marvel at, and if anything goes wrong, it's very easy to see what you're doing. And you can even unhook this little IC here and replace it if you think it may have gone wrong. You can also see all the capacitors. The only thing I would suggest is not to sneeze on it because it might short something out. There's just a couple more settings here. You've got this thing here called Gamelan, which raises the intervals of the notes by small increments. You can do architectures with it. You've got these two buttons here, K and P. K switches on a sort of a sound gate with the key, so you get just like when you press the note, it's on. When you stop pressing it, it's off. And then this P button here, that will basically turn it into like an old-fashioned style ladder resistor keyboard. So if you hold a note down there or there, the highest note wins. But if you turn that off, the lowest note wins. If you've got both of those off, the note will just stay on. Now this not this particular instrument, but the Ondes Martino was originally designed by a cellist, and that is why he had the idea of having a keyboard that you could wiggle. You've also got on here, if you can see, there's this sort of nice wooden board here which has got little indents in it to show you where the notes are for the ring controller. When I play, I'm kind of just like sort of resting my other fingers on there. I've seen other people sort of play like this. But it depends how tired I am, really. And the last thing I haven't said anything about is these buttons here. Now they're different tone controls. I will put a link in the description to the ondomo.net website because it's got a quite interesting manual in it, and it will explain what all these different tones are. But they're basically just different timbres. So you've got that one there, which is a sort of like a nasal sounding one. And then you've got this one here, which is O, which I think stands for Ondes, and that's like the sort of like sine wavy one. Then you've got T, which is a more kind of almost like a square wave. And then you've got this one here, which is the number 8 on it, and you can. There's another little slider here, which I don't know if you can see, and this one will range from the Ondes sort of sound, and then you can push it up, and it will kind of change to that sound, or anywhere in between, which is quite good. And then you've got this one here, C, which is sort of a clarinetty sort of sound. Then you've got G. And then lastly you've got little g, which again has got a variation slider on it. Ranging from that sound up to that one. So quite pleasing, really. This second slider here, which will enable you to send or route the signal out through this jack here to a speaker. Now, I made recently a speaker out of an old cymbal, and my friend Steve Molster made the box for it, and my videographer Louisa grew the plant that sits on top. Now, recently, when I knew that I was going to be getting one of these, I decided to have a go at making a metallic speaker. And now the original Ondes Martinos had a metallic speaker, which was just like a kind of a gong with a transducer on it. It would act as like a sort of a speaker, and you could send sounds through it, and it would sound all kind of like enchanting and very strange. And they also made a palm diffuser, which is just like a kind of a speaker with a load of strings in front of it. I've experimented with one of them, and I've not nearly got one of those off to a T, but this one's working quite well. Inside is an old cymbal that I had from my old drum kit years ago, and it's got Metallica written on it, crossed out, and then I've written The Shadows. It's got a lovely box that my friend Steve Molster made, aka Snappy Ostrich, and he also managed to cut a perfectly round hole in it, because he is related to the common woodpecker. Not wishing to waste any wood, he also made me this. Ta-da! You can see there it says Vintage Key Studio on it. And it's got, instead of numbers, it's got musical note letters. And I like the way that it's all flat, so it's like time will go backwards. So it will go A, G, G, D flat, F, E, E flat, D. Very nice clock. Now if I just hold this up to the box, it doesn't quite match up. Hang on a second. Oh, looks like Steve has shortchanged me. It's also got just a XLR plug in the back, which is connected to this lead, and then that's plugged into the side of the tiroir here. Let's have a go and see what it sounds like. So just for your reference, again, here is the sound of the internal speaker and the DI coming straight from inside. And now if you add the metallic speaker, and then if I'm just going to take the others out, so you can just hear the metallic on its own. You could also make the speaker sound very much like a TV theme from the 1970s. Picture Box. You can plug this into pretty much anything. And here is a very, very quick demonstration of the Ondomo through Louisa Revolta's throat.
This is the Ondomo, and this is my throat.
This is a Bosavox. It's a fairly new thing, and it's based on the old-fashioned Sonovox that they used to use for things like Sparky's Magic Piano. I would try and demonstrate it myself, but my beard is too bushy, and it doesn't transmit very well through beards. Well, thank you very much indeed for watching. I've been Steve, aka the Kinkajou. This has been the Ondomo, and I'm now going to pack it away very, very quickly, and you should hopefully be able to see the ingenious way that it all folds down. If you want to know how to set this thing up, you just have to play that bit backwards. Good night. If you've enjoyed watching this video, why not like and subscribe? And then you'll get told when we do another one. And you'll go, ooh! And you'll watch it. And I'll tell you to like and subscribe again. And you'll get annoyed because you said, well, I've already done that.